So this is probably the last Opal Wave video I'm going to record, because tomorrow is the tournament that I was preparing for. So I'm getting a last league in with the deck, testing a few more cards, and yeah, I have to deliver my deck lists online in 2 hours, so I hope to finish the league before then. Otherwise I'll have to interrupt the stream to post my deck lists. For the sleep-in with the buys I have. So the main deck is pretty similar to before, but I put a choke main deck because I've been trying it out against Grixis and Miracles, which I've been playing a lot against lately, and it's really good against both of these decks. And so I put 2 more in the sideboard. Maybe 2 in the whole 75 is enough, but I feel like, yeah, I wanted to try out 3 because if this resolves, it's usually game over against a whole bunch of decks. And this is a new package I'm testing, the Deadweights and the Grafdigger's Cage, because yeah, the Engineered Plague didn't always do it. Like I lost against Elves with a Engineered Plague on Elf before, and Deadweight just also kills their, like, it kills like any creature they have, and it also comes back with Replenish, so that seems like a good combo. And Grafdigger's Cage can be tutored with Enlightened Tutor. It's good against Reanimator decks, so I cut the Rest in Peace for it, because Rest in Peace is quite bad with the Replenish we're trying to resolve. This guy's, I think, recently he's been on Grixis Delver. Like, he used to be on Bug Delver for forever, but I think he made a switch recently. Like, I lost against him recently, and I think he was on... No, he was not on Grixis Delver. Okay. Maybe just check pile. I don't remember exactly. Let's see, Mali. Okay, he was on something called Other. So it might have been some Grixis control, like not 4-color Leovold, but I think it was some Grixis control with Jaces and Planeswalkers. This hand was not great, because like it's very weak against Wasteland. I only have 4 mana cards, and I only have this part of the combo. But I already mulliganed. I'm mulliganing to 4 to 5 Seamed Worse. I should maybe not have fetched turn 1 and played the Utopia Sprawl because I had a Winds of Teeth on top. Maybe I should have waited 1 turn to get a second non-wastable mana source. Okay, we're gonna get Leovolded here. Great. I definitely want all 3 chokes in this matchup here. This guy's good at hymning people. I think I've never seen him play a deck without him to Turek. Okay, so maybe he's back on the Bug Delver, but with Leovold. I'm not entirely sure. See, we already have double white, so I'm gonna fetch a second basic forest here. So we're gonna take 4, 7. No, we're not gonna be dead here, but we need this replenished to resolve, I think. And he could still eat the Doomwake Giant in response. At least we'll have the Parallax Wave then. We need him not to have his Forest plus blue card. So opponent eats Doomwake Giant, sure. But now we have 4 enchantments. I can play Opalescence. And if the Opalescence resolves, like if he doesn't have a Daze as his last card. Then I think we probably got this game. He doesn't seem to be a Lightning Bolt deck. I also definitely want a bunch of chokes in this matchup. Did I say choke? Yeah, I already thought about choke. I mean Leyline of Sanctity. Like I don't bring it in against Grixis Delver when they only have like Cable Therapy. Against him to Turak, like getting him snap himmed or like yeah, just getting randomly discarded and 2 for 1 is too much for this deck. Already look at the sideboard, want extra Leyline of Sanctities and the extra chokes. Probably don't want deadweights in a Tarmogoyf Leovold matchup. I also put in the deadweights against the Death and Taxes, by the way. Because like if they resolve a Sanctum Prelate on 2, no, I mean on 4, the deck has a really rough time beating that. Because like all of the payoff spells are 4 mana. And it's also a card that can beat Gadokteeg. So I'm not entirely sure Engineered Plague should be cut, because Engineered Plague on average is better against Death and Taxes, I think, because it deals with the Mother of Runes after it already... It deals with the Mother of Runes after it already lost its Summoning Sickness. I'm just gonna reset my Parallax Waves here, so they come back with 5 counters. And I think I have the time to attack this Liliana. It would suck if they draw a second Liliana and kill my Parallax Wave as well. Or like if they find a True Name Nemesis. And Stifle would also ruin us, because they can just stifle the return trigger and I don't get my Parallax Wave back. Sylvan Library is good. So maybe I'll want the second Engineered Plague back. Engineered Plague is better against Inkmoth Nexus in effect, but Deadweight is faster and so like it's easier to kill a Glistener Elf. I'm quite tired. It's already 10 PM, so that's why I'm talking all this nonsense and making wrong statements. Opponent is probably gonna try to abrupt decay my Sylvan Library here, which means if I want Ooh, he's gonna fatal push my parallax wave, sure. It will mean it can't attack this turn. Opponent concedes. Oh yeah, they probably didn't know I could use this to save itself from removal. Which I can, so yeah, I think it's gonna be too hard for them to beat me, indeed. Okay, I guess I could Enlighten Tutor. I don't have anything I really need to tutor for. I got... Sometimes I cut one Opalescence against decks that bring in Surgical, because then they usually go for the Opalescence first, and if you're getting it Surgical, it kind of sucks. I mean, so you just want to give them less targets, but it's also important to resolve your Opalescence, so having 3 could be wrong. Maybe I'll bring in only 2 chokes, because Bug Delver has Bayous, so Bayou plus Deathright means that you can't completely lock them out. While against Grixis Delver they only have Deathright left after you play Choke. And let's see what else to cut. This is really rough. I'm gonna cut the Doomwake Giant here. If I see they are on True Name Nemesis, I probably bring it back in. And then I cast out, or Oblivion could come out, but he does play Planeswalkers, and it's able to kill a Tarmogoyf if I'm not getting my mana up quickly enough to play these other cards. Maybe I cut one Oblivion Ring and one... You can't cut mana, I think, because I play Daze and Spell Pierce and Wasteland. Since they play Leovold, so maybe I cut one draw effect in the form of Enchantress Presence. Like normally if they're Delver, they don't play Leovold, so I'm not entirely sure what kind of version they're playing. It doesn't have, this hand doesn't have Leyline, but it has Replenish, which is reasonable against these grindy decks. So I think it was... I mean, you shouldn't mulligan to Leyline in this matchup, but this hand might just be too slow regardless of having Leyline or not. Okay. Here the plan is to Wild Growth my second land, and then play Sterling Grove. Okay, I don't want to play Serra Sanctum until I actually need this much mana, because it's too important to get Wastelanded. And I'm not protecting anything, so I think I already sacrificed my Sterling Grove here to get a Parallax Wave. I have a Replenish in hand, so the Sterling Grove will come back if it get, like, if they counter the Parallax Wave, I can replenish both of them, for example. And I'm not really weak to Abrupt Decay at this point anyway. And they can just Abrupt Decay one of my Utopia Sprawls, which doesn't really achieve anything, I think. Here, I think I want to play around a Spell Pierce, so I play out the Serra Sanctum. Because Caracas only plays around Daze, and they did have a Daze, so made the correct choice. At least now they lost 2 cards. Okay, they should not... If they flip to him to Turak and take my Replenish, I'm probably not winning this game. Ooh, spell bomb. Okay, no more replenish here. And I think I actually replenish here, because it forces them to crack the spell bomb, and I might get some value out of it later. Because if I play Opalescence, they could have a sacrifice effect and make me sacrifice my Sylvan Library. So I don't want to have my Sylvan Library as the only Opalescence creature here. This actually targets, so Leyline of Sanctity is also very good against this card. Maybe there would have been a reason to wait and hope to draw Leyline off my Sylvan Library. That doesn't sound completely unreasonable. Because yeah, of course they could still crack it in response, but maybe they don't realize that Leyline shuts off the Nihil Spell Bomb. Yeah, opponent still not flipping their Delvers, or at least not the first one. Nor the second, okay. Being very lucky here for now. And this was exactly the reason to play the replenish last turn, because now they thought these are Opalescence. And if I find another replenish, at least this Opalescence has not been exiled from my graveyard. Okay, so I'm going to end of turn, bounce this Leovold, and we will be able to use my Sylvan Library then. Okay, we found the Leyline. Could have been a reason to wait with the replenish, but yes, I want to use the ability. And I'm paying for life here, because maybe they have a wasteland for my Caracas, and I won't be able to deal with the Leovold anymore. And then, otherwise I will have 2 bad cards on top, and now I'm only stuck with 1 bad card on top. I mean, I obviously did not want to pay for more life, because then I would lose to them flipping the Delvers. And now we need to top deck exactly Parallax Wave in the top 3 of cards. They're on 10 life. We could attack for 6, but they're not dead. So GG. They do actually have Leovold, so maybe Oblivion Ring comes back in, and what did we have that we did not like? I mean, maybe he also bores in Surgical, so I feel like maybe cutting 1 replenish is okay here. If we have a Leyline of Sanctity in our opening hand, he's not going to be able to hymn or Thoughtseize us. And then yeah, we'll only be able to return things that he countered. And I think the other cards in my deck are probably more important. No green mana, it's a mulligan. This is a clear keep. Turn 0 Leyline, turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, and turn 2 Simple Library. That cannot be dazed. So maybe I should have got Doomwake Giant actually. That's like there's not much in their deck that it kills. And a rule of the thumb is put the first Utopia, like first fetch a basic forest and put Utopia Sprawl on white. Because then I can fetch a basic plains here. And even if I didn't draw the wild growth, like I would have 1 green and 2 white. And like, because there are a lot of double white spells, but I don't think there are any double green spells in the deck. So getting to 2 white is the most important. I feel like I'm getting Spell Pierced or Brainstorm Force of Will. If this gets countered, we are in a bad spot, because my opponent has, or if this gets Abrupt Decayed, because my opponent has 8 cards in hand and we have 1. Okay, we spent all our resources putting this stuff on the table, but none of it does anything if this gets Abrupt Decayed. I feel like I put the Oblivion Ring and the Enchantress presence back, and then Crewfix Insight and draw them again. That would be only bad if he forces my... So maybe I pay for the Oblivion Ring. Like, I'm not under any pressure. I put back the Enchantress presence, and then at least I'll have an Oblivion Ring for their Leovold if this gets countered. Clearly have something, because they were thinking about it very long. I mean, long enough to make me suspect a counter. Okay, so now we are probably digging for another Serra Sanctum, which would mean we'll have 8 mana next turn. So we can play a bunch of spells that, like, they need to counter all of them. Probably. I'll probably start with a choke if I find my Serra Sanctum. And if not, I'm afraid I will have to play my Parallax Wave into a Daze here. I'm putting back the Parallax Waves because... Actually, no, I think I start with a choke. But even if I would play the Parallax Wave first, this would mean that I put the other 2 ones back, because Surgical's anything, I think he's gonna Surgical the Parallax Wave, so I don't want to be stuck with like my whole playset in hand. I mean, the 3 ones that weren't there already. Ooh, that's aggressive. Oh yeah, you can use the Bayou every turn to exile something. So I might want to keep playing around the Daze and Oblivion Ring the Tarmogoyf here, if he doesn't play other creatures. Because I'm actually dead to Tarmogoyf beats here. Right, I go down to 6, go down to 4, and I do Tarmogoyf. So I could play Oblivion Ring, which could meet an Abrupt Decay, or I could play Parallax Wave, but it could get Spell Pierced. If the end of turn Abrupt Decays, I go down to 1. Might give Abrupt Decay to Tarmogoyf. If he has a Force of Will, I'm dead, regardless of what I do. I think I will try to play around the Spell Pierce here. I'm actually not dead if he Spell Pierces the Parallax Wave, because then he can't use the Death Right, because he needs a Death Right for blue mana. So he wouldn't actually be able to drain me and kill me. Oh, this resolves, that's a good thing. I'm still hoping to draw the Serra Sanctum, because it will let me cast 2 Parallax Waves in the same turn. Another Tarmogoyf, alright. So I'm still dead here if he forces my Parallax Wave. So Serra Sanctum. Oh, no Serra Sanctum. Put it back. Put it back. He could have a double daze, I guess. Oh, that really sucks. We are very close, but maybe I did pay life at some point in the early game, and it came back to bite me in the butt. Or maybe I should have played around days, around the double days. Like maybe I should have jammed the Parallax Waves earlier, because then he could have double dazed the first one, but then I would now have been able to resolve the other one. Maybe I played too carefully with the Oblivion Ring instead of the Parallax Wave. Yeah, this is definitely not the best matchup for the deck anyway, even though I felt we had a chance. Expulfini. Hand does nothing. Hand is slow, but I think on the play I don't want to mulligan to 5, so... yeah, this is gonna be too slow. We don't have black mana anywhere near. So this hand beats Show and Tell, because we put into play the Parallax Wave, but other than that, we don't even have 4 mana yet. So let's hope our opponent is on Show and Tell. Dredge. If we find a Wild Growth, we can a second Wild Growth, we can Wild Growth our Serra Sanctum. Oh, he's gonna break through and sacrifice his leads in response, probably. Yeah, so he has a Dredger. He found a second Dredger. Yeah, there's actually no way we are beating this, even if we draw another Wild Growth. It's like he can flashback a Fateless Looting, he can flashback a second Fateless Looting. So, Gravedigger's Cage. Probably want both the black and the white ley lines to protect against cable therapies. I want to cut the cast outs. I think I'll want to leave in ring in case they play Serenity. I mean, for now, maybe if I cut something else, cut one, replenish. And cut the draw effects. Like, we win this by having our hate stuff in our opening hand. Not by spending 3 turns to draw the cards we need. Engineered Plague on Horror to kill Icorites. I think that's not good enough because they still get the tokens from Bridge from Below. Only Leyline of Sanctity, but no way to hate on the graveyard. It does have a turn 3 Parallax Wave, but that's kind of mediocre. This hand does nothing. Ooh, it has a double Leyline. And I feel I actually bottomed this. Like if I draw a land, I want it to be Zero Sanctum, or a white source at least. Opponent concedes. Fortunately, they did not have the hate for these cards. What do I want to change? Do make giant kills could potentially kill a zombie army, but so does Parallax Wave. So maybe you want more replenishes in case I have Nature's Claim for the ley lines. Yeah, I think protecting my ley lines is more important than Doomwake Chanting. No ley line, no Gravedigger's Cage, nothing. Not even a ramp spell. No land. This is tricky. This protects us against discard, and we already have one black source to hardcast leyline of the void. I think I still mulligan this. Okay, that's the land. He'll probably have Nature's Claim now because he saw it. He saw it game 2. So we probably still need to draw a, what's it called, Gravedigger's Cage, or another mana source and a Sterling Grove. At least the opponent is spending all of their resources digging for their answer, and they already exiled a Dredger and an Icorit. So they will be down to 3 cards in hand. So even if they have an answer for the Leyline of the Void, each of us will have spent a lot of resources. Which means that I'm not completely lost if they kill it. Three mana spell Breakthrough and keep 2 in hand, so they draw 4 and then they discard everything except 2. It lets them dig deep. That's But again, they only have 2 more cards in hand after this resolves. Which means even if they have the answer for Leyline of Void, they only have 1 other card left. We need more mana. We need them not to kill this Leyline because it will also turn off Serra Sanctum, which kind of sucks. Because I need a 3rd mana. Either I need the Wild Growth effect or another land. Okay, Enlightened Tutor is a start. Enlightened Tutor either gets us Wild Growth end of turn, or it gets us Gravedigger's Cage to lock up the game even more. Okay, opponent is casting another Breakthrough. So now they get to keep 3 cards. And they are already halfway their deck, so they should really find an out soon here. So the question here is, which card do I get? If I get Gravedigger's Cage, I think I lose to Serenity, but I'm okay against a single targeted removal. Yeah, if I get Sterling Grove, I'm okay against targeted removal, and it also turns on my Serra Sanctum, which is nice. And if I get Wild Growth, I can Wild Growth this Serra Sanctum and play Krufix Insight and keep just digging for better stuff. Guess I'll play the Sterling Grove. Because it also turns, it does the same, like it turns on Serra Sanctum, and so it has the advantage of turning on Serra Sanctum like Wild Growth does, even though it's with a turn delay. But it also protects us against a spot removal like Gravedigger's Cage does. Please no Serenity. Ooh, Wear Tear. Okay. Yeah, we were definitely correct. Actually, if we got Gravedigger's Cage, they could have killed both the Cage and the Leyline. So, okay, we got the Wild Growth we needed. Now we need to try to ramp into Starfield of Nyx, because then they can kill the Leyline, but I can just keep bringing it back every turn. So how much mana am I working with? 6. I think I just play the Starfields. It will get me back my Sterling Grove next turn for more protection. This was a very difficult game. If they had the Wear Tear closer to their opening hand, we would already have lost, I think. Especially on like a mulligan to, I don't remember how few, but it was like a mulligan to 3 or 4. believe they tapped 3 reds. Like they sacrificed their hand to the Lion's Eye Diamond to make red mana for flashback, but because of Leyline of the Void, they couldn't do anything with that. So maybe it was just a way to concede. Okay, 1.5 hours left before I need to hand in my deck list. So our score against Dredge is very good. Played against, what's his name? Expalfini. Oh no, actually we won. So that's 2 and 1. One more opponent. The same one. That's unfortunate. I'd like to play first, yes. Now, if any hand can beat Dredge, it's probably something like this. Like ramp into a Doomwake Giant as quickly as possible. Silver Library to try to dig for Parallax Wave. I think I still play around Wasteland, like he might have switched decks in between. I'm gonna start by Basic Forest into Utopia Sprawl on white here. And then, if he's really on Dredge, I can fetch the Bayou with my Windswept Heath. Yeah, I think at turn 3, Doomwake Giant on the play could be good enough. Okay. See, we have single white here, so I can't actually fetch black. Because I think Parallax Wave is better here. Because it prevents me from dying if he has like a combo in his, like some Dredge decks play combos like Flayer of the Hatebound, or like even Flamekin Zealot, giving everything haste would suck. If he manages to have like a huge Dredge. So I think playing this out first is... it allows me to interact with him during his turn, and Doomwake Giant only kills stuff on my turn. Next here he gets to activate Cephalid Coliseum, and he gets to draw 3, discard 3, which basically means Dredge, like Dredge 10 or 15, and or like I can take some Narcomoebas before he gets to sacrifice the Nuke Cable Therapies. And I think I'm actually gonna do that if I can. Oh no, it's not. If it was in his draw step, I would be able to do it. But because this is in his main phase, he gets priority to cast sorceries. Come on, Opalescence. can't tutor for Opal lessons yet, because we don't have a draw effect after we play the Sterling Groves. I think I pay 4 here for the Utopia Sprawl. And then just set up for next turn. Here I need to upkeep or draw step, tutor for the Opalescence, which should win me the game. Wait, did I play a land yet? I did not. So I can do it at the end of his turn. Which means I want to take the Narcomoeba here. And I need to have 2 counters left on this, because it will go down to 1 from the fading, and I still need to use 1 to... Yeah, so it will go down 1 from the fading, and I need to use 1 to blink it to itself after I play Opalescence. So he has... Does he have Dread Return? Yes, he has Dread Return, and a bunch of therapies to Flamekin Zealot. Maybe I need to use these more aggressively. He will get back his creatures next turn. At least I will have a chance to like dig for the both the Opalescence and the Parallax Wave, or I can get a second Parallax Wave with Sterling Grove, or like I can just play Doomwake Giant and kill his. Like I can let them return in his turn. I mean in my upkeep. Yeah. So sorry for all the mistakes, but I'm just very tired. So I can let. If I use all the counters, he gets his creatures back in my turn. Which means I can kill them with Doomwake Giant before he had a chance to get any value out of them. And then he gets the tokens. But if I draw enough enchantments, maybe I can also kill the tokens there. My opponent concedes, doesn't want to find out. Bring in the same cards, board out the same cards. They did have an Iona, so I'm not cutting my Caracas, but I might cut the basic planes. Doomwake Giant. No. Actually, because we need to mulligan to Leyline, probably I don't want to cut any land. Because if you mulligan to 4, you really need to have land in your opener. Double Leyline of the Void and turn 2 Sylvan Library. Yes, please. Also very good against Wear Tear. So now he needs to have a double destroy spell. Or Echoing Truth. Okay, so he killed one of them. I don't understand why he did it during his turn. Maybe he just wants to get some auto pass value. So again, he has 7 cards in hand, and then he only gets to keep 2 of them. So again, if he finds another wear tear, I don't really care at this point, I think. Can get me some cycling value here. Zero Sanctum and Leyline of Sanctity. And we already have Parallax Wave and Opalescence. So how do I stack these? With Zero Sanctum I will have 6 mana, which means I can't Opalescence Parallax Wave yet. I can Sylvan Library and Parallax Wave, or Sylvan Library and probably want to play Opalescence this turn. Like, I don't think Parallax Wave achievements, and if I play Opalescence this turn I get to attack for 6, and then the turn after he should... No, he's not dead yet, but if I play Sylvan Library next turn he takes 8, 6 and 8, no, he'll be at 1, but it will mean he can't use any of these lands anymore. So yeah, put Crewfix on top. Or I could play Leyline of... Do I care about Leyline of Sanctity? No, I could just play Opalescence here. So opponent is down to 9, he will take 8, and he's dead. We were lucky to have double Leyline here. Because yeah, he found a single wear tear. But after our bad luck against Malimujo, I think we also deserve to have a little bit of luck going with us sometimes. And we're playing against Saffron Olive. Okay. Gonna be a very strange deck then, I guess. Because he plays very janky builds that he finds on the internet, as far as I understood. So the question is turn 2 Simple Library good? I think I'll keep it against a random crappy deck that probably doesn't have Force of Will. Nick Fit, okay. Unless he has Abrupt Decay here, we should be able to recover here. Like this will probably give us some more basics, and then this will draw us the cards we need. I'm somehow assuming this is Nick's Fit, because that's like the best performing, or like the funkiest deck list that has been performing lately. Yes, please, I want lands. Opponent does not give me lands. I think I can be aggressive here with paying life, if we have anything useful on top. I might even try to kill the Veteran Explorer, because it would cut him off lands. So, let's see, I place a Sanctum, I double growth it. It will tap for 2 green and 4 white. So yeah, put back the replenish, that doesn't do anything yet, and I'll pay for the Serra Sanctum. Then 6 mana, I think I just Crewfix Insight and see what I find here. Parallax Waves, yes. I think I want to be greedy here, and I believe in Ring the Veteran Explorer. He could sacrifice it in response here, just to get his land drops. Oh yeah, he's smart, he does it before... the enters battlefield trigger happens, which means I will have to exile something by myself. So I guess I take one of my Wild Growths. Yeah, maybe this was a bad play. Like, he only gets like 1 less mana next turn. And I get also 2 less mana. So he's indeed on Nick's Fit. Which means... I think there was a card in there. They completely invalidated my combo. I don't remember exactly, but... Dovescape. Okay. That does indeed... It's indeed rough for me. So I need to resolve this Doomwake Giant. And the Doomwake Giant will be able to kill his creatures once. But after that I won't be able to get any more Doomwake triggers. Because I won't be able to get any more enchantments into play. Yeah, I don't need that. See, how much mana will I make here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means I can cast a bunch of stuff. I think I still want to pay extra life here, because I need to find a black source as soon as possible. Start with my Parallax Wave. If he has another Rector to get a curse that gives everything -1/-1, I think I'll lose. Like, I don't think the Doomwake Giant is going to be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana here. I think I just use the cast out in his turn to make like surprise tokens. I think our matchup against this deck is very bad. I played against it before, and as soon as they resolve a Dovescape, I just can't do anything, really. It's a 4 mana spell, Academy Rector, sure. The opponent gives me the chance to trade here, so I'm definitely gonna take it. I should just have gotten the enchantment that gives -1/-1. I mean, I guess they can instant speed, try to find something that works for them. Like, make it depend on whatever I draw here. Come on, Bayou. No Bayou. I guess I'll keep paying for now. Or maybe he wants to use this black mana of the Academy Rector to Abrupt Decay something. Oh, actually he can't Abrupt Decay. Oh wait, Abrupt Decay and Dovescape, like the spell is countered, but since Abrupt Decay can't be countered, he gets both the tokens and the thing still resolves, like the Abrupt Decay. That's good. That would be a cool interaction. Do they have flying? Yeah, they have flying, sure. let's just make a bunch. We have 8, which means, yeah, I want to go for the Parallax Wave and the Opalescence. This will mean he probably knows that he has to fetch the -1 enchantment here. But yeah, I don't have much choice here. Like, it's not like these cards are ever gonna do anything else. Ooh, Pernicious Deed. I guess that works. Yeah, you could have the enchantment in hand, the one that gives the minus. Or maybe he just made a mistake. That's also possible, of course. I mean, to be fair, he probably never played the deck before. Can I afford to take any damage here? If I find a black source, well, I need to be able to fetch, so I can only take 4 damage at best. I think I play it like this and hope to draw a fetch land or a black source, because I also need to have damage on the table that I can use to attack. Yeah, he did have the Curse of Death's Halls in hand. So I can make 4 more tokens, and yeah, I'm dead here. Let's see, if I would have had 1 more turn, would I have survived? Nope, probably not. I mean, I could have made more, I could have just kept making more tokens. So I could see it being worth it. I want, nope, not that. Leyline of Void stops Academy Rector and Veteran Explorer. And Leyline of Sanctity stops, I think it stops the curses. Although I have Hexproof, he could still put them into play attached to me, so I'm not entirely sure. I think this doesn't stop Academy Rector putting curses into play. It stops him from hardcasting them, and it stops him from playing Therapy. I definitely can't afford to cut the Doomwake Giant. This is a rough one. Maybe like this. Cut a Replenish. Although that's kind of good against Pernicious Deed. But I'm gonna cut it for now. And maybe we're the aggressive deck here, because I think they have a better late game. So I think I'm just gonna go aggressive on the Leyline Opalescence plan and less on the draw cards plan. Yes, I would like to play first. This is actually This could hardcast the Ley Line of the Void turn 3 if I draw it off Sylvan Library. Maybe that's good enough. I'm gonna try it. Like I said, I think this matchup is already bad enough. They have Ley Line of the Void. Okay. So do we. And we actually have Oblivion Ring, so... Did I board out a replenish? Yeah, I took out one replenish, so that's good. Yeah, maybe should have left in all the Ley Line of Sanctities. Or maybe I should just have mulligan to a Ley Line here. Because I feel like this is not going to end well. I hope they don't take the Sylvan Library, but I have a feeling they might. Oh, they did not. Okay. Maybe have an abrupt decay here, and they know they're gonna want to use the 2 mana to decay this, so they took the card they wanted to deal with later in the game. Therapy me, sure. Dried Arbor, sure. Oh wait, I actually can cast a Doomwake Giant here. It seems like it would be fun. Parallax Wave seems good too. So do I wave or do I definitely don't want to fetch land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I just do Wake Giant first. Oh no, I wanted to pay life here. Oh crap. I was too busy talking to realize that I wanted to keep the Parallax Wave in hand. You shouldn't be watching your phone while you play Legacy Online. That's a recipe for disaster. At least we can't get the Thoughtseize this turn. Put back Serra's Sanctum for sure. Question is, do I pay here to dig one deeper or not? I think I can put it back. I think the Crewfix inside Should already have enough digging power. Cast out seems good. Sterling growth seems good. Do I want wild growth? Or Leyline of Sanctity? See, I would grow this, then these steps for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can Stony Grove but not cast out. I think I want to cast out the Sylvan Library for sure. I think I just take the Leyline of Sanctity. Because Wild Growth doesn't change the amount of spells I can play this turn. Yes, Sylvan Library and Krufix Insight is a very neat interaction, I think. Like, even if you don't have a fish land to shuffle, you can put back 2 enchantments and clear the top of your deck with Krufix Insight. Veteran Explorer, that's a start. It will give him mana if I... oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, he knows exactly what I have in hand. Due to Krufix Insight. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I definitely would have preferred to take a Sylvan Library over playing the Leyline of Sanctity. So I wouldn't have made a difference here. I wouldn't have made a different choice, I mean. Parallax Wave, yes, I think. This is another put everything back and Krufix Insight. Did we even board in the Leyline of the Voids? Yeah, like we've seen a lot of our deck, but not the ley lines. That's strange. So this is on white, so I'm gonna start by playing Sterling Grove. And let's see, I have exactly enough mana to pay Parallax Wave and Silver Library. All we need is to top deck Opalescence here. Oh yeah, maybe I should have cracked the Sterling Grove. I think I'm gonna just tutor up the Opalescence here. Put back that one. Okay. Either he knows the combo or he just feels that he's gonna lose anyway. So we want the last ley line, and because he's on Leyline of the Void, I probably want to cut all my replenishes. Okay, exciting. I actually think we have a chance here. That would be a... Ooh, even if he has a Dovescape, but I already have an Enchantress presence in play, I do still get to draw cards because I cast them. Let's see, do I want Does this mean I want an Enchantress? No, I think I'll keep it like this, because I'll still lose to the Curse of Death's Halt in combination with Escape. So I think I just need to be on the aggressive leyline attack for 8 damage a turn plan. It's interesting, they didn't see any leyline of the Void the last game, so he probably doesn't even know we have them. So if he keeps a hand based on the Cable Therapy Veteran Explorer interaction, he's gonna be disappointed. Because he can't even therapy us here. So unless they have Maelstrom Pulse or can like Pernicious Deed for X's 4, I think I don't think he will be able to beat this. I mean, he could find a Gadocteeg, which would be annoying. But I think he's more likely to have Maelstrom Pulse or like Abrupt Decay for my Sylvan library. So Krufix Insight, like this might mill my Caracas or so, but yeah, I think this digs me deeper and faster towards my Opalescence. I think I just need to resolve Opalescence. Oh, actually, Opalescence makes this into creatures too, so we can't just attack blindly. So we need Opalescence plus Parallax Wave. So next turn we can go Enchantress, no, we can go Sylvan Library and Oblivion Ring their Sylvan Library most likely. Or Enchantress Presence. No, I think Sylvan Library is their best bet. I play out my Wild Growths here, even though I probably play my Enchantress Presence next turn. But I want to be able to play like double spell. If my Sylvan Library finds me like Opalescence plus whatever, I want to have as much mana available as possible. Please no Gadocteeg. Abrupt Decay my library. Okay. So I need to get as much white mana as possible here. So I can play my Enchantress Presence and my Leyline this turn. Another Abrupt Decay. Let's see, Starfield of Nyx. I can play both Sylvan Library and the Starfield. Which means I can attack with... Oh, yeah, Starfield means... It's not like Opalescence, like their enchantments do not turn into creatures. So he actually can't block here, and I attack for 15 damage, and oh, It's perfectly dead. I mean, dead +1. I think that's the first time I ever played against Saffron Olive. I'm curious to see if this will make it into a video. Just curious to see how he boarded and how he played, like what he had in his hand from his side, and like the choices he made and so on. Fortunately, we did not yet meet a matchup where we wanted to bring in the dead weights, and like this will be my last round before the tournament. Meaning I won't get any more practice. I will hand in my deck lists in 40 minutes. So let's hope we play against Death and Taxes or Elves here. MZ Frost. I think I played against this guy before, but apparently not. Or not with this deck. Maybe with a different deck. Yes, I would like to play first. And this hand does nothing. This hand would do something with lands, but does nothing. Okay, that's a pity to shuffle away, but I think I can't wait to play my Wild Growth for a turn just to draw the choke. We don't even know what kind of deck he's on. So here I risk running into a daze, which means I need to ask myself which card I want to resolve most. I think the answer is I want to resolve the Kruvix inside, so I'm gonna jam the Enchantress Presence. If it resolves, I'll have more mana next turn of the Serra Sanctum, but like if this resolves, I don't have any enchantments to trigger this right now, so I can't get any value out of it. But if I resolve the Kruvix inside, I get to see 6 card deep, and I probably put like 2 or 3 cards in my hand. So this is like more guaranteed to bring me value than the Enchantress Presence. Please no probe therapy. Okay, no probe therapy. That's a good start. So we can beat the days here, but not a Spell Pierce. I've seen a lot of Grixis lists play Spell Pierce recently. And he's keeping open a mana here, like he didn't attack. So it's not unreasonable to think he has either Spell Pierce or Brainstorm in hand. Ah, that's very annoying. I should stop saying the cards my opponents have, because they always have the cards I don't want but which I can perfectly name, so... Oh, this is again Bug Delver. It's like the second time today. We need to find our Doomwake Giants and the Black Source. Like, I could cycle this to try to find either more mana to play the Starfield, or to find Doomwake Giant and a Black Source. But if this resolves, the clock will be a bit slower, and we get to make more mana of the Serra Sanctum to cast the Starfield. Let's see. I think Deathrite is more guaranteed value at this point. Like, the Delver might not flip for a few turns if I'm lucky. And this is just damage. This is like damage plus ramp. Okay, it does not flip. Made the correct choice so far. I might bring in the Deadweights just to try them out and see if I like them. But they're not great against true names, obviously. So I might also just bring in the Engineered Plague to name Merfolk. Rogue. I'm gonna start with the library. Starfield doesn't really do anything here. Like, it will reanimate the Enchantress presence, but something we care about. We need to find the Black Source and the Doomwake Giant, like I said. Like, the main reason I started splashing black for Doomwake Giant is exactly that I kept losing to True Name Nemesis because Parallax Wave can't target it. Actually, next turn I'm dead. This drains me to 5, so even if I draw Doomwake Giant, I lose to taking damage here. So I would need Parallax Wave and Serra Sanctum, but I can't draw both without dying here, so we dead. I'll consider those. Cards I really wanted to test are the Chokes. Like, I'm convinced that they're really good in this matchup. If they are on Bug, they might be on him to Turek. So I'll cut some Oblivion Rings because they can't take True Name. And if they are on True Name, maybe they're not on Tarmogoyfs, or on less Tarmogoyfs. Oh, I can replenish. They might have some Planeswalkers, but I'm not sure if that's enough reason to keep in the cast outs. I guess I'll try to cut them here and see how that feels. I'll cut one Opalescence just because we have Starfield as the fourth Opalescence. Like, I don't mind cutting one Opalescence if I don't know what else to cut. Yeah, this hand is mediocre, but because like it only has turn 3 Kruvix inside, but we just got to hope the Leyline of Sanctity makes it worth it. Oh, they are on reds. Maybe they're not Grixis Delver. I mean, maybe they are not Bug Delver. Maybe they are Grixis and just fetch their Tropical for a reason. It would be an interesting choice. If you win this game and they turn out to be Grixis, I definitely cut the Leyline of Sanctities for yeah, for putting in back in something like my Opalescence and maybe some more spot removal, like the O-rings. I'm running this into a daze because I have all these 4 mana cards that I need to resolve. So we just need to get the daze out of his hand as quickly as possible. This is a tricky situation. I could fetch black and try to deadweight their Pyromancer. I think that's the most dangerous creature right now. Or I could fetch a Savannah and jam the Parallax Wave. Like, I won't be able to cast all of these spells if I make the wrong choice here. Guess I want to play around the days for now and first play this as a bait spell, see what he has going on. And if this resolves, we can always replenish it back to kill the death, right? Did not get punished. Drew our second white source. So if this gets countered, I might still play the Opalescence first to get it countered before I replenish. It depends on the amount of damage we're gonna take next turn. Like if he plays another Delver or so, then I definitely need to replenish immediately. Ooh, are we gonna see a Spell Pierce here? It would explain why he didn't attack. So you take 1, 3 for 5. 5 a turn. So I need to ask myself whether I can afford to wait. Oh, is he gonna surgical me? He definitely boarded in surgicals because he stopped. I think he might draw a step. I cannot get bolted. So I do take. I go down to 8. If he draws another black source, I take 6. So I go down to 2. I do have 1 turn for the Sylvan Library. I think I'm gonna try it. It does give him one more turn to find a Force of Will for my replenish, but I don't want to run my replenish into a Snapcaster Spell Pierce or just a Spell Pierce. I think I need to find the land there. Serra Sanctum, the best of lands. So library's ability, yes. Okay, I can't afford... Like, I would love to draw Serra Sanctum and the Parallax Wave, because then we can play a Parallax Wave, and if it gets countered, we can replenish both of them. Yeah, that's not gonna do it, so... I need to put all of those back. Play my Serra Sanctum. Can I afford to play my Opalescence first here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll have 1 left and a Serra Sanctum. But if it gets countered, Serra Sanctum makes only 2 and I can't replenish. So yeah, the choice is an easy replenish. If this resolves, I probably win. If this gets countered, I lose. And I feel it gets countered because he has 6 cards in hand. And yeah. Okay, GG. Sometimes you just... Sometimes, especially like against Grixis Telfer, we played Daze, Spell Pierce, and Force. So yeah, you can't avoid losing very often to them just having the perfect disruption. And by that I mean you'll probably lose more than half of your games against them because of that reason. Like, I started very good against Grixis, but then I started losing more matches, so for now the deck is 7 and 10. So yeah, that's probably like 40 or 45% wins, which is decent against the best deck in the format. And yeah, that was one of the reasons to add all the chokes, but apparently it's not enough. Because they kill you before you get to land the chokes. Alright, that's it for today, and that's probably it for this deck. If you see this deck list appear on MTG Top 8 next week, I probably made it to Top 8 of the tournament, and otherwise I'll probably tell in one of my next videos how it ended. Okay, have a good night everyone.